Well, good morning, everybody. We are live. This is Eli Gonzalez, and welcome to Digital Summit Mastermind. This is our first Monday call ever. You see, we've been holding these weekly calls, but we didn't have a name, and we finally settled on a name, Digital Summit Mastermind. And most of you know, we chose that name. I thought it was a good name to choose because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reach our summit of our individual business here in Digital Altitude, right? So that's our vehicle, and we want to take it all the way up to the top. And as a group, we're going to become a mastermind. We're going to actually be able to work together, share ideas, no matter what we're at in the business. Sometimes, the brand new person is the one that comes up with the newest, coolest thing to do. And we want to be able to, all of us, help each other out to get to the top. So here, there's going to be a few things that I want to go over with you guys today. First of all, we have a new Facebook group. That's not quite finished yet. Most of you are in there. I haven't put much more than a picture there. Basically, we want to create, and I'll show you what it looks like. Actually, let's do that real quick. Let me go to Facebook here and close all this stuff off so you guys can see. Oh, went to the wrong thing here. Give me a second and. Actually, I got to change you guys over. Where is that at? There we go. Screen share. Screen 2, share. Okay. So here we go. Did I put that on here? Yeah, Digital Summit Mastermind. So I made it a close group. It's going to be mostly for a team. If anybody brings anybody on board, they're welcome to put it on here. I'm going to put all my new people in here. I just wanted to have some kind of unity here. And I'm sorry, I meant to introduce you, Clinton. But can you see my screen? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. I put my thumbs up. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't see because I'm using the same screen on this one. So okay, so basically, we're gonna have. You see how I have the picture here? That's actually for the top, but we want to have a nice picture here that's gonna let us set different streams of of what we're gonna talk about. Maybe welcoming stream, and then another area that we're gonna chat about. If we bought a certain level of invested in ourselves and in our company, another one that might be events. So each one's going to be here, so that it'll be easier to follow than having all kinds of stuff. Of course, you can ask questions, and just go ahead and put your questions down. If you have anything individual to say, you can still do it, but we want to have, if it's within certain categories that we're going to set up, go ahead and put them on there because it'll be a lot easier, to be able to follow. And also, we're getting little by little, we're getting bigger. So I want to make sure that, let me come back over here. And I want to make sure that, this live commenting stream that we have, that it doesn't get to be too crazy because basically we end up, here Bing and Bing and Bing. And sometimes some of us are in different time zones. So to come back and read a bunch of stuff that we don't even know what it's about, it's cumbersome, time consuming, and maybe not even the best way to spend our time. So what I was thinking about was, how if you have those comment things within the team group, well, then we can actually, go back and check them out and have different things that we're interested in. And then the other stuff we can leave behind. We're going to also use, well, that's for later. We're going to use something so that we can help each other out, like each other's comments and things like that on social media. Some of us are brand new, don't have a lot of friends. Having some kind of interaction will help you, in your social media efforts or in your blogging efforts. So we're gonna start doing some of that team type stuff that we've done in the past. But for right now, we just wanted to go back and do a little training. I want to refer everybody back to step 2 and go into that because it talks about what it takes really to be in business, no matter whether you're online or offline, and it goes into different things that you're going to need to do that, and one of them is traffic, but it's not the very first thing that you should think about. You should be thinking about, the actual processes that people are going to be taken through to create what we're here for, right? What are we here for, right? We're here to create a profit. So it's, those things are in place. And obviously, as you go through the steps, you'll see how in place and how awesome Digital Altitude have done this for us so that it actually just flows. But it starts with, being able to have some kind of economic profit at the end of the whole thing so that we could fund the thing. And actually, it's, Michael actually goes into how, all these gurus that have talked in the past, they got a little wrong, because you really have to start with something in the beginning. And collateral can bring all different ways, right? We can be in a place that we have a lot of money and we don't have a lot of time. So, let's go into the training, because I was going to go into that anyway. Let's go into that. Let's see. I'm going to share this screen. And let's see. Right here, we have the different types of traffic, right? We have the free and the paid. So most of us have heard this before, right? And then the free includes maybe things like, social media, blogging. Oops, there we go. And maybe even belly to belly, which means, getting on the phone and calling somebody up. And some people within social media, and within Facebook, a lot of people do, messaging, and they use the messaging system as a way to do like a belly to belly type idea. You meet people online, and you're actually showing this model of being able to talk to somebody and talk them through and friend them and get to know them, so that we can actually do, it looks like I didn't see that last message. Somebody's having a hard time getting on. Hopefully they can watch the replay here. So those are the main. Clinton, and do you have any other free ones that you can think of? There is some other ones. I didn't think about that. What do you call that? You can actually, as part of blogging, you can actually go to other blogs that are very active and comment on those blogs. And if you're adding to the conversation, sometimes you can actually catch somebody's attention and bring them over to you. Another thing that you can do on the free side is, and it's used a lot in certain circles. What do you call that? What's the word for forum? That's what I'm looking for. Forums. Actually commenting on forums and actually hanging out in forums is a very good way to get really productive people. A lot of people that are online that know their stuff, they hang around in forums. So if you actually go to forums and comment, and of course, most forums allow you to have some kind of link back to your website so that you can show off, who you are and what you do. So the forum is a nice way to make, friends and people see you as an authority, because you're actually commenting and things like that within the forums. That's a very important thing to do. I think to me, almost that's probably does better than some of the other social media stuff that we do, as far as getting people to know that you're an expert in your field. Yeah, sorry. It looks like she's having issues. Can you comment on the Facebook stream there, and just let her know? We're not doing it on the Zoom today, but I was asking her because maybe Zoom might be a better format for this for our team meetings. For right now, that's what we're using today. So, and there might be a couple other ones that I can't think of right this second as far as free traffic. The other one would be paid traffic, and that includes all kinds of stuff. And the difference with paid traffic is that you're buying back your time, right? If you're doing a lot of the freebie stuff, you're using a lot of your time, and if you don't have a lot of time, it's usually better to go ahead and use paid traffic. One of the things that Michael mentions, and I always talked about that with my teams. It's like a lot of people just think they're going to start a business, and they don't have enough funding, but they still leave their job and things like that. And to me, stick with your job, build your business little by little, and that'll give you the money that you can, to put towards building your business. And it doesn't have to be a lot of money. We're going to go over some numbers here, in a little bit, so you can see that. But if you don't have any funding, you're going to have time. You're going to need to have time. Now, if you're working 2 jobs, that's going to be hard, right? So it might be better to keep those 2 jobs, or at least keep one, and then have some free time to do marketing. Do something that makes sense to you, and to be that kind of stuff. My screen is fuzzy. Is my screen fuzzy to you too? It might be just hers. No, okay. Yeah,
no, just zoom in closer.
Zoom in closer. Let me try to do that and see. Is that better? Is that bigger and big enough?
It's big. It takes up the whole screen, so we'll see. She hasn't commented yet.
Too much?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, good. Okay, so the replay, I think you can actually get them usually at 720, so you'll be able to see it. Oh, good.
She said it's fine.
All right, and I like this idea of using Facebook, for commenting during these things, because it'll show it to me every single time. That's kind of neat. We might do that in the future. Okay, yeah, so yeah, Linda, it's probably your feed, your internet. This might be slow right now. So going back to paid, that's just going to free up your time, and you're going to be able to do your business probably a lot quicker, because you're going to be able to get to a lot more people very fast. And and the paid formats, there's different things. You can actually go to different websites and set up a banner, different people's blogs. You can go to, just do searches online and look for blogs that are in our field, that work from home or different things like that that would coincide with somebody wanting to work, doing the internet, using the internet, working from home. You can actually put a banner there and let them, click on that banner and go take them over to your lead capture page within the system. And now, I know that I'm talking very fast, and there's some things that you might not understand right now because you might be brand new into the business. I should have started with all this first, right? We want everybody. I don't care if you've been doing this for 20 years or if you're brand new to being online. Go to your coaches. Let's do that. This is before traffic up here, right? Traffic is second. First, go. Let me put in big letters too. Go. I'm not screaming. I'm just making an emphasis, right? Go to your coaches. I know it's a pain sometimes. We're they hold us back a little bit because they want to make sure that we're understanding everything, and sometimes we're ahead of what they're teaching, but a lot of us aren't. So make sure, go through your coaches. If nothing else, you're learning what your other people that you're bringing in, what they're going to go through, and that's very important. So the coaches are going to actually talk to you through all this, and actually the training that you're going to get through the Aspire system is all going to actually teach you all of this and a lot more. So this is just added bonus information that we're trying to give to you today. So make sure you go to your coaches. So, the banner is a nice way to get, paid ads. You can actually target it by going to websites that are very much in your niche, whatever that is. If you're selling puppy, food, you go to places that have pets, right? And that's how you actually can get customers that are very close to you. If you're online niche, you go to online type blogs and put some banners up there. Forums, actually, some of the forums have you pay for having your actual link back to your lead capture page or your blog or whatever you're going to do. So forums are actually can be a form of paid depending on which ones you go. The more people hang out there, most of the time they're going to ask you for some kind of money to be able to promote your stuff. The third one, I'm going to go ahead and go with PPC, and that's pay per click. for the longest time, we did that, through Google and AdWords and things like that. There is some things that you can do with Facebook these days, and you can actually very hardly target your audience. That's going to be another type of training you're going to get down the road, if you don't know what that is yet. Number 4 is going to be probably the easiest thing that most people try to do, except for one more that I'm going to show you at the last, and that's actually doing what we called, solo ads, and I'll explain. Solo ads used to be, you have what they call e-zines, or electronic magazines, right? And these electronic magazines would actually put out maybe a weekly copy of whatever they were doing, so they would actually, you could sign up for it, and on a weekly basis they would have stories. If you were in the home-based business, then maybe they would have stories of different leaders that made it big. They would have stories about how to find the right business. They would have stories about how to market the right business. And this would all be like almost like a magazine format. Like if you went to, I don't know, Time magazine online, and it would be like that. And they would actually have ads within that. That's another place that you can actually advertise, is on e-zines. But solo ads will actually, oh, good. She was able to get on chat. So the other one is actually solo ads. It's actually, those people are emailing the list, right? Because it's electronic. They're not mailing the list or going to Starbucks or someplace that you can actually pick up a physical copy. These are e-zines. So they email the list to their people. Well, those people, you can actually target them very quick, very good, because you can go to an e-zine. Like we talked about puppies before, you can have an e-zine that all they talk is about puppies. You can have an e-zine and all they talk is about plumbing, an e-zine that it's all about real estate. Well, there's e-zines that talk about, working from home, e-zines that talk about, different things that you can do on the internet to make some money. And those e-zines, of course, they have that list of people. Well, you can rent that list and send them an ad. That's what they call it, a solo ad, because while the e-zine might send an e-zine and have a bunch of ads within the e-zine, you can be on the top of the e-zine, or you could be in the middle, you could be in the bottom. There's all kinds of pricing for that. A solo ad is none of that. It's actually that same list of people that are getting that information every single week. You can send your ad to them, and they send it on your behalf. So it's like, getting a approval by somebody that has authority over somebody, that they know that, or they're seen as an authority by somebody, so that they could actually basically tell you, hey, I like this guy, try his stuff, that kind of thing. But that solo ads have transformed over the last 5 years or so, to the point that you don't have to do everything they used to do. You had to actually do everything. You had to create an ad. An ad was basically an email, and the email had to create enough interest for somebody to click on the link and take him to your lead capture page, where you would actually capture the information, and then they would see your sales video or your sales letter. Well, that's a lot of different moving pieces, right? You're going out there, you're having to create, you have to create a subject line. And the subject line was the most important part, because the subject line had to actually capture somebody's attention to open the email. Because you're paying the guy just to send out an email, and that's it. So your subject line had to capture the person's interest. Then you had your basically your sales copy on the body of the email. And that consisted, different people, different things. Some people did a lot of content right on the emails, but they became really long, and people's attention span online has become very short. So, then to create a whole sales copy that was paragraphs long, nobody's reading anymore. So it wasn't the best way to get that. So now most of the people are actually just creating, a blurb to get their attention and a link for them to click and find out more information. Well, then you have to get that sales copy to be super engaging and right away catch somebody's attention and get them to click on the button, because then you were spending money without any regards to whether you were going to get any leads or anything like that, because you were creating the sales copy. And then, of course, you have the lead capture page that you had to create that would be congruent with the sales copy and the subject line. So that's a lot of moving steps, right? You got to create a subject line. You have to create a sales copy. You have to create a lead capture page that all mesh together. Well, what the solo ads providers these days do, they take care of almost all of this. Sometimes all of it. Sometimes you have to have your own lead capture page. We have one. You know, the company has one. You can use it. It works really well. And you can find it on your back office. I'll show you that in a little bit. But, you know, these days, the solo ad providers have made it basically simple, you know, go and just give them a link. They take care of everything. The link goes to your lead capture page, right? And that's all you have to do is provide them the link. Within the company, when you get to your traffic coach, they're going to show you they actually have got some of the best traffic in the world within the company. And you can talk to them directly about that. And all you have, you don't have to do anything. All you have to tell them is that you want so much, and they take care of everything. So that's kind of a nice thing. You don't have to think about any of this stuff. Just, you know, basically provide, just let them know that you want to place a solo ad. So that's another one. Now, the last one was the probably the easiest and the most, the only way that you know 100% for sure they're going to get an actual customer. That's called CPA, and that stands for cost per acquisition. And basically, you know, there is people out there that will promise you that they're going to actually get you a customer, and they'll take care of everything else. They take care of the banner ads. They can take care of the actually warming up the list and having a list that wants to buy. They take care of sending those list emails every week to keep them active. They take care of all that stuff that you don't have to worry about any of that. No email marketing, no nothing. All you have to do is pay them, and then they'll actually go get you a customer. And they'll basically, out of their list and out of the emails, they create an ad and they have a link, and they send all kinds of traffic right to your site, right to your sales page. And that makes it so that those people are going right to your sales page, and they, you know, if you order 10 sales, when those 10 sales are over, the actual campaign's over, and they stop sending you traffic, and you're done. So that's kind of a neat way to do business, because you know you're going to get sales. Now, the less you do, you know, like I said, you know, the freebie stuff, you're doing a lot of stuff, right? Even with the paid stuff, if you were doing banners, you're still doing some work. You still got to find the right place. You got to find the right banner to put on the place. You know, if you're doing forums and you're paid, the active forums that you got to pay for your link, you're still going to the forum. You still got to be active there. Pay-per-click, you got to learn how to do pay-per-click and how to manage a pay-per-click campaign. You know, solo ads, you're still having to provide certain parts of the solo ads, and you're only guaranteed leads at that point. When you go to this, you don't have to worry about any of that, and you're actually basically taken care of. And that's Clinton was actually talking about that this week. So why don't you come on over here and we'll talk about it a little bit more, and then I'll give you my plus and minuses on it, and so that you guys know, because I didn't want to leave this like open, you know, like, because we left it there, and we like. It's like having a nice little carrot and putting it, you know, in front of you and wiggling it, and then we took it away because we said we wanted to make sure that you go through your coaches. We didn't mean to do that. We want you to go to your coaches, of course, but we also want to make sure that you understand all the different things that are involved with traffic, and that this is the simplest one. Wouldn't you say that that's the simplest one, Clinton? What do you come over here and
Yeah, I mean, I was excited about some results I'm getting, and you know, I mean, CPA. Can you hear me, Eli?
Yeah, you're good.
So, I mean, like Eli was saying, you know, CPA traffic, it's a different way. I mean, I've always was an affiliate marketer, so back in the day, I would run a CPA traffic where I would get paid like $50, $25, $100 to get somebody to try an offer for $1 or $10 or $20 or whatever. Usually, most CPA offers are like between $1 to like $10 or something like that. And all you're trying to do is just get a buyer, So you push, and then you get a buyer, and then you get paid. It's usually a weekly payout. Well, what we're doing now with Digital Altitude is the reverse. We're in the pool. We teamed up with a company that's going to push the CPA offer out there, and that company is in turn going to give us buyers. And so it's a little bit different aspect because, like I was trying to tell you guys, some of you guys had questions on, how does it work? Well, it's simple. Like Eli was saying, is that once they buy, the game changes, because you got to go from being our traditional mindset was, like with solo ads and all the different social media, you get the leads, you convert the leads into sales. That's what you're focused on. Get the leads, get the traffic, get the emails. Like everything that Eli was talking about up to CPA pretty much is building a list. And then you convert the traffic. How do you convert the traffic? Well, you convince them to go to the video sales letter, right? And then the video sales letter convinces them to buy. Well, this is different. When you do a CPA offer, your job becomes a professional greeter, a high paid greeter. Like when I say high paid, I'm talking about, how much we can, how much potential we can make with Digital Altitude per month, right? So you become a professional greeter. Well, one of the ways you can do that is drafting a welcome video, a simple welcome video, not that long, and just bridging them from, hey, you just bought this product called Digital Altitude for $1, and I want to help you get your system set up and have you meet your coach. I should say that, I want to get you to your coach so they can get you set up. Because I keep forgetting, with Digital Altitude, we do have coaches. So you want to get them to the coach, connect them to the coach, and then, and then make sure that, they, connected with their coach, and you can start to see the notes in the background once they have connected. Okay. So if you could become a professional greeter and connect your people, from what I read, I do believe, Eli, in that chat, leadership chat, we were saying like your income can go 3 to 5 times higher. Now, I'm not talking about selling the people that are becoming buyers. All I'm saying is connect them to the coach. Okay. Be a professional greeter, smile, and get them to the coach. And you could do this pretty much on autopilot, because like I said, if you do a video or something like that on a blog or some type of website, and then you can just send an email link, right? And then email go out to them and then connect them. Now, another thing too is that you could do this also inside your autoresponder. Like Aweber, you could take somebody from one list and move them to another list. That's what I do. Like I take them off. Like if this is just general traffic, I take them when they become buyers. I take them from one list, like a prospect list, and I take them to a buyer's list, and I'm segmenting my list. But I mean, with a CPA offer, all you're doing is just, like I said, connecting them to the coach. That's it. You're not focusing on getting clicks or anything like that. It's different, because you're like, wait a minute, I get a buyer. Yes, you get $1 buyer. And I know too that there's been some unscrupulous traffic in the past. I've had my fair share. Eli's had his fair share. And you want to monitor your success. You want to see how people are coming along in the CPA offer. This offer that I'm running with is pretty good right now. But everything fluctuates with time. Things can get diluted a little bit. Just like solo ad sources. So yeah, I mean, CPA traffic is a cool new way, and pretty much you're leveraging the coaches, and you're building a business. So that's my 50 cents. But I want to add a couple things on your list over there. Video marketing. I was kind of tossed. I was going to say, man, that's kind of like social media.
You're right. Hold on. Let me get back over there.
Sure. I was kind of tossed up. I was thinking that's kind of like social media marketing, but it's not.
Part of social media. I mean, YouTube is, and most of
YouTube. But I mean, video marketing in general is like a totally different, vertical.
Yes.
Video marketing. Then on paid, you can add direct mail, right?
Oh yes.
Offline, or you could just add maybe offline advertising or something.
All right. What did you say?
Offline advertising.
Yeah, offline. Yeah. And there's all kinds of offline besides. I mean, you can do
Yeah,
direct
I'm just being
mail
generic. Yeah.
by being on a magazine too. So
Yeah, I mean you can. I mean with offline, you can also do like radio ads. Drive people to a website to give them free information on a radio ad. I mean, it's crazy because I've heard on a syndicated Christian network on my way to church an offer for a lead company that was buying leads from, man, just a few months, about 6 or 7 months ago. It was talking about, it's like a 60-second ad talking about people. Do you want to build? Have you ever, are you tired of the 9 to 5? Da 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 da. Yeah, are you looking to build a business online? And then it goes to a lead company, a lead gen, where they generate the information and stuff. So that's crazy. I mean, radio ads I haven't messed with, but back in my Don Lapre days, I used to, he would talk about offline advertising with radio ads and TV commercials. But with Digital Altitude, let me just say this: it may be a little bit premature right now, but as you grow this thing out, I would start, trying to go offline and bring people online. Let me say that again: go offline and bring people online. Here's why I say that. Is because online is so cheap and easy. Everybody's doing it. And if you go offline and you bring people online, it's like, you're reaching people that may have never even knew that you could make a business online, if that makes sense. And then another thing I was going to talk about with that, radios, ads, and off what they call it, off peak time for TV advertisements, is that Digital Altitude has a huge, if you look at the whole spectrum there, right? And this goes back to Michael Forces, what he was talking about in that webinar the other day. You have products from, let's just say $37 up to, whatever the top package is, 20 some odd thousand or something like that. And you can make insane amount of commissions. So you can make your money back if you do it the right way with radio ads. Again, I haven't done any radio ads, but I'm just saying that is something down the road that I would like to explore in addition to TV ads, because I've heard ads here recently, especially on the radio, where people are running ads, especially like on these syndicated radio shows where, matter of fact, I got a buddy that owns a radio show right now for real estate. I'm gonna see if I can do a 60-second commercial on there and see if he can get some traffic. I just was thinking about that. Because he's always talking. But anyways, that's just some ideas I wanted to throw in that, man. I kind of run off on tangents there.
Yeah, no, and one thing I want people to understand: we're marketers, and we try to find traffic anywhere we can, and sometimes we're bogged down to the online, and we don't open ourselves up to all kinds of stuff. I mean, you can go out there and one thing I did a long time ago, it didn't work so well, so I wouldn't suggest to do it. But I had this guy make me 300-yard signs, like with the still screening on there, and it was a video email thing that I was doing at the time. It was brand new, so I made it. Check out newvideoemail.com, and I got all kinds of people going and checking it out. It wasn't targeted, so I didn't get that many sales, but but it was offline and bringing people online. And that's what you want to do, as much as you can, in different ways. Just keep your minds open for that. Now, that said, all of it can work. We don't want you to become an expert on all this. None of us, unless you're huge, if you're, a Mike Diller or somebody like that does $50 million a year, then you could hire a bunch of different people out to actually do all this stuff for you. But you don't need to do that. Not to get to six figure, and probably not to get to 7 figures. To 8 figures, you're probably going to need some help, and then you get more people to do more stuff. But literally, you pick one of these and go to town with it. And you're going to be exposed to all kinds of stuff in the back office as part of the Aspire training. Just pick one really good one that resonates with you. I mean, for me, it's always been paid, pay-per-click or paid solo ads. It's just an easy way to target somebody really easy. And if you have a converting offer, which this is, people will buy, and that's what it comes down to. Now, like I said, the easier it is, the more expensive it gets, and that's you have to figure out where you're at with your business, where you position yourself, and that's some of the other training that you're going to get from your coaches and also from the system. Depending on where you position yourself can mean whether you're actually in a profit or not. You know, you could be actually advertising a lot and be on the negative if you haven't positioned yourself in the correct level within the system to get enough of the high end buyers to offset your cost of advertising. And it's a business, so you know, always keep that in mind. Just because you're advertising doesn't mean that you're going to make a profit unless you've actually positioned yourself to make a profit. And you know, I have to say that because a lot of people don't think, and I've seen a lot of people spend a lot of time on even social media, free social media. They'll spend 6 months doing the same thing and not get one sale. Well, that costed you all kinds of money. That didn't make, you know, you can say that you saved money, but it actually costed you because you've done all this and haven't gotten one sale. So maybe you have to change. Not that free doesn't work. Free works, believe me. 6 figures, you know, with Facebook, it works. It just has to be, you know, the right message to the right people, and you have to, you know, be able to get them to a place that converts to a sale. So that being said, this is fun, guys. I mean, don't try to make it so that it's so. I look at all this and we're going through all this, and it's like it might blow your mind. That's just the different things that can be done. But it's just like, you know, you set up a lemonade stand, right? And this just came to mind. You know, it's like you can set up a lemonade stand in front of your driveway, right? And that will do okay. You know, you go and set up a lemonade stand at the soccer fields. You know, when the kids are playing, you might make a little bit of more money. But you go and actually have a lemonade store, you know, or stand at a football game, a professional football game in a stadium. Guess what? You're gonna make the most amount of money, right? You can ask for more money, and you're gonna make more money because there's a lot more traffic there. So everything that there's different ways to do things. None of it is right. None of it's wrong. It's literally, you just have to make it your own to make a profit, because it's going to take a while for you to learn it. But once you learn it and you figure it out, then you make profits. That's the fun part of doing this, is figuring a little bit things out every day and making a little bit every day a little bit better. So that was it. We can go into detail about this stuff, but it doesn't matter. What you need to do is just get back to your coaches, listen to them, and be patient with them. But they're going to actually take you through the right steps. And then when you get to a point, we're going to see, you know, each one as you come across, like Clinton said, we get to see the notes that the coaches are making on you guys, because we've hired those coaches. We're paying them, you know, to train you. And we did it for a purpose, because we want a life. And then we want to train you to do the same thing, because we want you to have a life when you start making money. That's the nice thing about the system. It's an actual lifestyle system. You know, a lot of times people talk about making money. Well, yeah, there's all kinds of ways to make money. I know a lot of 6-figure earners that are in some kind of MLM company making tiny little profits from each individual that is in their team. And they're literally just hammered. You know, they have all day long, they make 3-way calls. 3 times a week, they'll do some kind of hotel meeting. And on the weekends, they're flying off to somewhere because they got to be on the other side of the world, in a different state, to hold a Super Saturday with somebody. So they're like working 60, 80 hours a week to make their 6 figures. It's like, that's not a life. That's not what I want. You know, that's what I came online. And you guys have to think the same way. You know, it's like, if what you're doing is working, how long do you want it to work that way? You know, if you're doing a lot of freebie stuff, you want to be able to be positioned correctly so that you can make money and leverage that money that you're making right away, so that you don't have to be doing the freebie stuff, because that takes all your time away. I mean, sometimes, and that's a different subject, but sometimes when we're on social media, we're not doing everything that we need to be doing, because it's easy to get distracted, you know. It's easy to see a bunch of stuff. I mean, I'm doing this hangout, and I've seen all kinds of stuff flashing left and right on my screen, you know. And I know that if I'm not talking to you guys and I'm not, you know, very focused on what I'm telling you, I can go off on a tangent like I did 3 or 4 times throughout this thing, you know. So it's social media is awesome to begin with, but in the long run, it's not the best way that you can do that. You know, it's actually just a way to get started. And only if you just don't have the funds. If you have the funds, I think you know, we're giving you all kinds of different ways to do advertising, and you're going to get the training in the back office to do it. And I would suggest that you can get to that as soon as possible, because the more traffic that you send, and, you know, doing it your way, doing it by yourself, it's very little that you can do. Now you leverage off somebody else that has a list of 100,000 people, you know, and you can get 1,000 people that day or within that first week, you know, within a week, to go see your stuff. Well, guess what? You're going to have, you know, 20 some, 50 some customers that are going to be going through the funnel. And this is all about, you know, filling up that funnel, you know, every day, getting somebody in there, getting 1, 10, 20 people into the funnel, 100 people, however many you can. You know, it's like, if you all you have is a garden hose, then use the hard garden hose, right? If you have a fireman hose, use the fireman hose. You know, it's like whatever you have, you go ahead and try to push it at it, because on the other side is what, you know, if you're positioned correctly with the company, you're going to make the most amount of money. Now, positioning is a different thing, and, you know, I didn't want to keep this too long today, but talk to your coaches about positioning, because the better your position with the company, the more money you're going to make, and that's what it comes down to. Any final words, Clinton? Because I want to go ahead and wrap this up.
Man, no, you know, I'm listening to you, and bring up that list before we close it out. So make sure people can make sure they can jot down their notes and stuff. Just kind of make sure you zoom out a little bit, because zoom out a little bit more.
Yeah, let me zoom out. So
and maybe I'll provide this in the group chat with the video, this list here. One thing I want to say is that any of those other than CPA is what I'm about to tell you. This goes for anything above other than CPA. Any of these methods that you're building a list, make sure you're taking people from whatever you said, you bridge them to your offer. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. You're gonna bridge people from whatever you're doing, okay, to your offer. I was just making sure send there's some comments in there. Yeah, Instagram is time consuming, but you can get sales from it. You gotta, and maybe we'll do an Instagram workshop collectively in the coming weeks. But anyways, whatever you're doing on your traffic here, your free or paid traffic, and you're building your list, bridge it. Do a bridge video. I cannot tell you how much money I've made, more money I've made, because I bridge, you know, like I'll welcome them over from coming from like a lead capture page from a paid or a free medium like Instagram or Facebook, something like that, and then or a solo ad, and then I come, or a postcard more specifically, and I bring them to a lead capture page, and then at that lead capture page, I bring them a bridge video right onto my, you know, it's my offer, and that helps out. And then another thing too, and we haven't talked about this. Maybe we could talk about it in an upcoming. You can with Instagram, you can definitely there's some automated ways to get Instagram posts, and like I said, we'll talk about that later. I'm just reading the chat there with Zen. I'm getting distracted there. But bottom line is, guys, make sure you bridge your offers. That's what I wanted to say, and make sure you connect, you know, with your new members to get them to the coaches. Okay, get them to the coaches. There's another thing that was in the chat that I wanted to share, leadership chat. Eli, and it just zapped my mind right now. I can't think of what it was. But it was Michael Force was talking. Going back to the free media. Somebody was saying Michael Force. I don't know if it's true, but I guess I don't know. He didn't deny it, but he was saying, somebody was saying he was getting huge amounts of traffic from writing articles about spaghetti. Okay. Now they said he gets crazy members now, but it goes back to this though. If you can write really good content and you can bridge it, you can bridge people over from that content to your offer. You can get it convert, and it's free, so it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's not like paid traffic where, you know, like, oh my goodness, you know, this is converting horrible. You know, you got spaghetti people coming over into a biz op and it's not converting as well. But when you do it, when it's free and you got a bunch of it, it's just like a big old spider web, and you're catching people, and then they just go down to the funnel. So that works. I mean, on some of the free stuff, you can go broad, like YouTube videos. I'm really getting into. And I'm getting some sticky people on my YouTube videos that's coming in to my funnel, but I need to really narrow it down. And maybe we could talk about that in the future on how to use YouTube videos and just put them out there and then put them to your lead capture page. One thing I would say, if you do anything out there in the social media realm, make sure you use the domain name. Okay. Don't just put the company's link out there. Use a domain name in case things change or the servers go down, right? You can always change the link from the redirect. Like, let's just say this. You have your domain name here, right? And then you have your link down here. You can always change this domain name. But if you put the link here, you can't change it. And it's out there in cyberspace. And if something changes or something like that, you need to redirect that traffic. You can't do anything. But if you have a domain name, you can plug in, you can plug in another offer and nobody even knows. It's kind of like having like a, you know, a cloaking. I think they used to call us back in the day cloaking the link, but you know.
Yep.
But anyways, what you're doing is you just have your link here and then your domain name, and then I'm telling you, you can change things on the fly. I do it with my postcards all the time, you know. So I just want to throw that in there. So anyways, that's it, Eli. That's my 50 cents, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Great stuff
You know,
here.
That's a really not just a tip. It's something like a principle. You know, you own your links. You know, if you have your own URL, if you're using somebody else's, then you know anything happens and you're done. Or you have to go through a bunch of stuff. You know, a lot of you. If you have, you know, after a while, you'll have thousands of different things out there on the internet. You're not going to go to all of them and go change out all those links. What you're going to want to do is actually just put a link that you own and then just be able to redirect to wherever you want to, which is kind of neat because things do change. You know, different offers have basically an expiration date on them, right? you might be selling a tool, you know, that after 6 months it doesn't work anymore with Facebook. But if you have another tool that you can replace it with, and you put a link that goes to tools, then you can change that tool periodically, and you don't have to go back to all those blogs and blog posts or videos that you're making. That's awesome. I love that whole idea of being able to have that up front. So guys, you got a lot more than I wanted to go through today, but you know, it shows you how big of a market you're in. You're actually in a big space with a lot of different things you can do, a lot of different ways to capture people's audience attention, to get them to that lead capture page and the sales video. That's what, you know, like Clinton says, you become a master inviter, basically. You know, you invite people by putting content, you invite people by buying, paying somebody so that there's a link going to that capture page. That's all you're doing. Now, if you're on social media, like Clinton said, creating some kind of bridge video or something like that between your offer, you know, the where they land and the offer is kind of important, because if social media, we're doing business with people, right? So having a like a little welcome video, hey, you know, thanks for clicking on that link. You know, I love to work with people. You know, as you can tell, I'm a real person. I help my team out as much as I can. Whatever your message is going to be, and then pre-sell them or let them know what's going to happen next. You know, it's like, hey, what you're going to do now is like, you're going to click on that link below, and it's going to take you to my friend Michael, and Michael's going to actually tell you all about this wonderful offer and what it has done and what it can do for you. You know, and that's it. You don't have to be. And then that doesn't mean that because they get to know you, and especially on social media, doesn't mean that you're going to be answering all kinds of questions. You don't do that. You know, if people have questions, refer them to the link, let them see the video. The video is a professional sales video, and literally people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to create sales videos and sales copy so that it converts. So you don't want to be the one that gets in the way of that message, because you're going to mess it up. There's no way you're going to be able to just create that whole flow of information versus intrigue versus testimonials versus, you know, all the stuff that goes into a sales process. You can't do that by just having a live conversation unless you're a really refined salesperson. If you've gotten all kinds of sales training, you might be able to do that. But even then, there's something about the flow of having, you know, a message from start to finish and how that comes across and how why people buy at the end of something like that. So don't get in the way of it. Don't answer the questions. You're just inviting people to go see it over there. And the one thing that I learned a long time ago, if somebody asks you a question, doesn't matter if you know or not. I was told about this guy that he was making about 10 grand a month, and he wasn't the brightest guy. I mean, that's how he was. But he didn't try to be either. So he, every time somebody asked him something, he goes, "Oh, I don't know about that. All I know is, this guy in the video said this, and I don't know." And then, of course, if you get to use that, if you learn a lot of the testimonials that from DA or anything that you're doing, then all you have to do is all I know is that Clinton Douglas he just went out there and sent out a few hundred postcards, and he got a sale, and then that person bought $2,000 worth of stuff. I don't know, I don't know about that. All I know is that Greg went out there and bought $1,000, 1,000 clicks of traffic.
I don't know if we lost Eli, but going back to that, it's an old thing. I learned that back in the seminar. What Eli talked about is directing. Send them to that. Send them from a state of being new and not knowing anything to just sending them over to the coaches. Send them to the experts. Don't get it as Danny Johnson used to say, get out of your own way. Don't be in your own way. Send them out to an expert. Which is the coaches, and let the coaches upsell them. So I think Eli has frozen. He's gone. Hold on a second here. Let me shoot him a message on Facebook. His power may went out. He was having any power issues. I don't know if they're having a storm down there, but hold on a second here. Let me just check on Eli. Let me check with Eli. Hold on, guys. Eli is frozen in time. Eli, where are you? Linda, you guys still seeing this video? Is this video feed live? Oh, okay. Okay. Let me see here. Hold on a second. Maybe my connection froze. All right, guys. We'll see you later. I think the connection ended. I'm not sure.